You know, we waited 15 years. We waited 15 years for a franchise quarterback. We drafted David Carr in 2002, number one overall. And I don't hate David Carr like most Texan fans do. It is what it is. He wasn't the guy. I think a lot of bad circumstances around him. The organization being a young franchise, they didn't know how to build a team, whatever the case may be. And I think that's some. And not to get twisted. David Carr is part of some of the blame, but that's part of the reason why he could never succeed. Then we went and got Matt Schaub. If we're gonna keep it all the way 100, we're gonna keep it a buck. Matt Schaub was a backup quarterback at best, who because of Gary Kubiak and his system, they finally was able to build an elite offensive line. You had Andre Johnson, you found Arian Foster, undrafted free agent, you went and got Owen Daniels and things like that. That you had Matt Schaub put up top 10 numbers, but was never a top 10 quarterback. He just put up top 10 numbers because of the system of Gary Kubiak, the Arian Foster helping, and also you got one of the best receivers of our time playing, and then you had a good solid offensive line, one of the best offensive line in the NFL at that time, especially in 2011, and you had Owen Daniels. But you've seen it in crunch time and time again, Mr. Pick Six himself, that he was not a franchise quarterback. And then 2017 happens, and you draft Deshaun Watson. Then those 6 games his rookie year were just amazing, just flat out amazing. But it didn't take that for me. I was sold on the first Patriot game. When I seen him play against Patriot, we lost. That was a game. Forget all the video game numbers he put up against the Titans, against the Chiefs, and also against Seattle. That game against the Patriots showed me that game you could take and duplicate that over a 16-game stretch, and that gives you about 45 to 46, if not 4,700 yards, 30 to 35 touchdowns, and anywhere from 5 to about 10, maybe 11 interceptions. That's MVP level. That's franchise quarterback level, year in, year out. So we knew we had the guy. We knew absolutely that we had the guy. And you allow it to get here. You flat out allow it to get here. Fuck that intro. It's not even time for that. You allowed it to get to this point where this man is asking for a trade. This is absurd. This is completely and utterly absurd. You have a franchise quarterback. The quarterback that people dream of having. He's not even just a regular franchise quarterback. He's a top-level elite franchise MVP, multiple Super Bowls written all over it, Hall of Fame written all over it type quarterback. The Lions are over a 100-year franchise. They've never had a quarterback that even come close to Deshaun Watson. And Matt Stafford, if I'm not mistaken, 16th in yards and touchdowns. And they've never had a quarterback like that. The Chicago Bears, the Baltimore Ravens have won championships, have won Super Bowls. Have never had a quarterback like that. Baltimore's won multiple Super Bowls. Ain't never had a quarterback like that. Tampa Bay has won a Super Bowl. Now I know these are teams that mostly won Super Bowl but based off their defense. I get it. But we're talking, the Redskins have 3 Super Bowls. They ain't no quarterback like Deshaun Watson. I know they've had Hall of Fame. They ain't had no quarterback like Deshaun Watson. You can miss me with that. You can miss me with that. This is a once in a generation, 1 in a million type guy. And you allowed it to get here. You should be begging at the man's knees. Whatever he wants. Whatever you want, Deshaun, go. If the man want a piece of the franchise, you should give it to him. That's how good he is. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees. We've waited 15 years. 15 years to have a franchise quarterback. It's been over 20-some years since Warren Moon was in Houston. And this is what you get. It's going to be another 20 to 25, if not 30 years before you ever come close. Ever come close. Ever come close to a guy like this. Again, how did you let it get here? You know how you let it get here? Because you let fake people out here, people who have not qualified for anything, they probably ain't never seen a football before in their life, out here making football decisions. Based off of what? Based off of what? Because of what church people go to? Like, you are making football decisions based off... It frustrates me. I know a lot of people out there talking about, man, Deshaun gone, y'all jumping ship. And to be honest, I can't really blame you, but I'm not a bandwagon. I'm just call it is what it is. I just call it is what it is, man. I've been here since '02. I'm glad the hat say it on. I've been here since '02. I'm not one of them blind fans like, a lot of them are out there, no matter what. Oh, no, we're going to get a good haul, guys, and we're going to do this, and we're going to draft that. No, I'm going to call it like, I'm going to call a spade a spade. If it walk like a duck or quack like a duck, it's a damn duck. You already know how I rock. But anybody who knows me on a personal level, anybody who knows me personally, the first thing you're going to see when you see me, you know I'm black. If anybody knows me on a personal level, they know I eat and breathe this shit, dog. Like, straight up. Like, square bit. Like keep it 100. Straight up. Anybody who knows me knows I eat and breathe this shit. They know me. They know me. People walk around here with tats. They know. They know for a fact, if anything, they know that I'm a Texas fan. I've been here. That's why I got this shirt on the first time we won a championship, AFC South title, 2011. I've been here, dog. So, yeah, I'm not just going to just jump ship and just follow Deshaun wherever he go because, like I said, I'm not a bandwagon. I'm not just going to go just rock with Deshaun like that. I'm a root for him. Like, don't get twisted. I'm a root for him. Just like y'all know, I'm a Texas Tech fan, so I root for my boy Pat in isolated incidents like Super Bowl Sunday. I'm a root for the Chiefs. In isolated incidents, I root for the Chiefs. But for the past 2 seasons, I have not rooted for the Chiefs. I rooted against them because of the effect of the Texans. Because we have a franchise quarterback, and what the Chiefs did kind of dictated what the Texans going to do, where the Texans can fall in the playoff ranking. So, on that standpoint, yeah, even though Pat my boy, he my boy, he my favorite player, but I'm not about to just root, I'm not, because it's Texans first. So, I'm a root for Deshaun. When Deshaun go, if he a Jet, he a Dolphin, wherever he at, I hope he succeeds. I hope he rubs it in this organization's face that you fouled up. Think about this. Not only did you have to wait 15 years to get a franchise quarterback, you had to let other teams fuck it up. Other teams had to fuck this up. Other teams, Chicago passed on him, Trubisky. The 49ers passed on him, drafted a defensive player. The Jets passed on him, drafted the safety they just traded to Seattle. The Jags passed up, drafted Leonard Fournette. Everybody, only team, the Browns passed on them twice. Drafted Myles Garrett and then backdoored and traded the pick to end up being Deshaun Watson. They passed on him twice after promising him and telling him during the draft process that you are God. Other teams had to mess this up. It was 12 teams. Deshaun's drafted 12, so 11 teams. Now I know one of the teams, the Chiefs drafted Pat. So 9 teams in front of you, the Panthers, they drafted Christian McCaffrey. 9 teams in front of you fucked this up. They fucked it up and allowed you to get Deshaun Watson. And you might trade him to one of those teams. The 49ers are looking at it. The Jets have the best package, it seems like. Who else? Now the Jags about to get Trevor Lawrence, but that's a conversation for another video. And the Panthers, they look like they're in the mix. So the Saints, because they had another team, I think the Saints had the 11th pick. Now they had Drew Brees, but you could say that they might be trying to, they should have been able to have forward thinking. Teams drafted and passed on Deshaun Watson. A lot of those teams don't even have those players no more. Seattle doesn't. The Jags don't. More likely the Bears are not about to have. I think the Bears and Trubisky think about parting ways because they didn't give Trubisky his 50 options, so Trubisky's gonna be a free agent. The Titans might end up losing Corey Davis because they didn't give him his 50 option as well. Teams are losing the people that they passed on Deshaun Watson. And you're going to allow them, one of those teams more likely to end up getting Deshaun Watson because you allowed it to get to this point. It's absurd. It's stupid. It's asinine. And this whole coaching thing. See, and this is the thing that really irks me because now a lot of people like Adam Schefter and everybody proved right. See, I told you it didn't matter who the coach is. That's bull. It's a reason why Deshaun Watson picked today to announce verbally or however it was to make it public that he asked for a trade. It's a reason why it was today. Because it happened 12 hours after the Texans announced who they hired as the head coach. He was still holding out hope for Bieniemy. He was still holding out hope for Bieniemy. I guarantee you, if the Texans would have brought in Eric Bieniemy, things would be able to get smoothed over, and Deshaun Watson would still be in the fold. But because the Texans feel like they got to do whatever it is they want to do, we already know what it is. We already know exactly what it is. We know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. We know exactly. We waited 15 years. I can't keep on saying that enough. We waited 15 years. 15 years for a franchise quarterback, and you have one. Not just a franchise quarterback, not just a top 10 quarterback, not a top 15 quarterback. Not even just a top 5 quarterback. A top 2 quarterback, a MVP candidate, a guy who has Hall of Fame and multiple Super Bowls and multiple MVPs, mind you, written all over him. And yet you could put him in this mediocre situation because you want to have complete and utter power. Why? You want nothing but yes men. That's all. This because I'll be honest with you. This hire of David Cully, whatever the boy name is, 65 years old, has never been a head coach before, has never even been an offensive or defensive coordinator, never been a coordinator before, only been receiver coaches or whatever. This is the guy that you hire and is supposed to mend the fence between y'all and Deshaun Watson. No. What he's doing, he's a placeholder until they bring in the guy who they want to bring in, I believe, and that's Josh McCown. I believe Josh McCown is the guy who they wanted eventually. Josh McCown is the coach of waiting. Josh McCown is basically, in my personal opinion, is the Texans version of Jason Garrett. You know, Jason Garrett was a backup for the Cowboys, and then when they hired Wade Phillips, they said, hey, you got to have Jason Garrett on the coaching staff because Jerry Jones promised him that he was going to end up being the coach one day. And that's what Jack Easterby did, because that's supposed to be the whole reason why he got the interviews, because Jack promised him that. Why is Jack promising stuff when he wasn't even supposed to be a general manager, right? Like, why is this man pulling the strings? Like, and Cal, you allowed a guy who's claiming to be a preacher, and like I say, like he's supposed to be a chaplain. That's what it said. These are not moves and not decisions that people of faith do. Like, you don't shun nobody at the door. I think Deshaun Watson wanted them to interview Salah. And the more I read and the more I get wind of it, the reason why they didn't want to go after Salah, in my personal opinion, because of Salah's religion and because he's Muslim. That's not a Christian thing to do. It's just not. You're not supposed to shun nobody at the door. You're supposed to bring them in. Somebody's lost, you're supposed to bring them in. If you hungry, let me put it like this. If you hungry and you full, I don't feed the person who's full, I feed the person who's hungry. Why? Okay, this person already is faith-based, and this person is on the fence. You bring that person in to help teach that person. Don't shun that person at the door and continue to talk and preach to the people who already believe. They already believe. You don't need to preach to them. They already know. The people who are lost are the people you need to preach to. So my thing is this: why are you shunning people at the door based off of stuff like that? And again, that's not been reported. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I think it is. That's just point blank how I feel, because this what the team is telling me. It's like they want to have they type of guys. You have a pool of 100 people. They whittling down to 30. They not worried about the other 70. They not worried about the other 70%. You know why? Because they don't believe the way they believe, or if they do believe, they not as strong of a belief as they want them to. They're not as strong as they want them to be. But this 30 right here, who might not be good at the job, but they believe the same thing that I believe. They believe they do the things that I like to do. So I'm gonna build my football team with that. That's not how you build a football team, bro. That's not how you build a football team, bro. Like, Eric Bieniemy is the most qualified person, a guy he's the offensive coordinator of the #1 offense the last 3 years, been to 3 AFC championship games in a row, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, has one championship at least, and potentially gonna have another. And you can't wait to the Super Bowl. You're the only team with a coaching vacancy. You can wait. No. You want somebody, because I believe Eric Bieniemy wants power. They talked to Eric Bieniemy, and from what the report is, from my hearing, is that Eric Bieniemy, the friction with that was that he wanted roster control, or he wanted roster input, something to that effect. And they like, no. Why not? He gonna be the head coach. That's who he gonna be coaching. He's the best chance you have of mending the fence with Deshaun Watson. So why not give him that? Why not give him that? Why not call up Deshaun. Hey, Deshaun, this is what we about to do. We about to hire Nick Casario. They just want to let you know. Now, he got found out on Twitter. It's probably the same way he found out about, about this coach, right? He probably found out on Twitter. They didn't text him. They didn't call him. Why? Why should I believe that they did? They didn't do it the last time, and that's the problem. That's what Deshaun feels like he's been portrayed. Deshaun feels like he's been disrespected, and that's one thing. You can't control how somebody feels about disrespect. When somebody feels they've been disrespected, everything goes out the window. Everything completely goes out the window. The moment that a person feels like they've been disrespected, everything goes out the window. Everything goes out the window, and that's where we at right now. Deshaun Watson feels disrespected, and I can't blame him. I can't blame him. We can sit up here and talk about, oh, he wants out of the situation because the bad team. Well, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Because his team is the same. If that was the case, he would have asked for a trade during the trade deadline. He would try to force his way out back then. That has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. He feels disrespected, and then he feels disrespected. He feels lied to, and he feels that on top of that this organization is incompetent because they won't keep him in the loop. Is the reason why they don't want to keep him in the loop. The reason why I don't keep him in the loop because they want to do things their way. Like I said, Jack Easterby is Thanos. He got the Infinity Gauntlet. He got the stone of the coach. Now he only need one more, and that's the quarterback. He has complete control of everything. I believe Jack Easterby wants to get rid of Deshaun. That's why I believe that Jack Easterby full-fledged wants to get rid of Deshaun Watson. And Kyle is going to allow it to happen. Now, Deshaun has asked for the trade. The Texans still are in control because the Texans still don't have to trade them. They don't have to trade them. And it could get real ugly. From what Shannon said, that it more likely, like Deshaun is prepared for it to get ugly. And I don't know how willing the Texans are for it to get ugly. It's to like you can't really dictate because you don't know what's going to happen. But when the coaching decisions started coming down, I kind of knew. Like when I kind of see that it seemed like EB was out and it's going to be towards Frazier and it's going to be Frazier, and that's what I believed it was going to be. And Frazier and Caldwell surprised me, and they actually impressed me. They showed more backbone because obviously they were like, no, hey, I'll come. I need to talk to Deshaun first. I need to hire my coach. This is another thing. This guy here, you hired his coaching staff for him. You forced Tim Kelly on him. Because this guy don't want to be a head coach. Hey, you going to pay me to be a head coach? That's perfectly fine. I thought I'd never get a head coach job. There's only 32 of these things. I get to put head coach on my resume. I think that Leslie really wants to be a head coach again. And he don't want to hitch his wagon to a Deshaun-less football team. He already had, with 4-5 years in Minnesota with Christian Ponder, he don't want to go another 3-4 years being a lame duck coach, coaching Tua or coaching Sam Darnold or coaching whoever else you want to try it in, get fired, and now that's on his resume. He was the coach of the Texans and the coach of the Vikings. They're not gonna care that he had 2 bad quarterback situations. He's just not gonna get a head coach's opportunity ever again. So I think he's gonna wait on the right opportunity. Same thing with BME. BME's damn sure gonna wait on the right opportunity. My boy Byron Leftwich, I think, especially being under Bruce Arians, he's definitely gonna wait on the right opportunity. David Culley, he don't care. He's 65 years old. He really probably didn't have no real aspirations of being the head coach. But again, if you're going to give me the job and you're going to pay me and my money is guaranteed, so even if I am a lame duck, even if I do get fired, I get however I think the report is he's going to be signing for 5 years. So they give him a lengthy contract. They give him a 5-year contract. I can see a situation that in 3 years he's no longer the head coach and Josh McCown is. Coaching which quarterback, I don't know. Like, I haven't looked at it. I ain't going to lie to you. After we drafted Deshaun Watson, I put that aside. Last year, I watched a lot of LSU, so I seen what Joe Burrow did. But I really haven't watched and studied quarterbacks like I used to back in the day. I used to watch quarterbacks all year long back especially after Matt Schaub was gone. I was watching quarterbacks every single year trying to see who was who. That's why a lot of the guys in the league, I kind of pretty much figured out they weren't going to be good quarterbacks because I watched and seen that. Like, Jared Goff didn't really impress me. I didn't get a chance to really watch that much Carson Wentz because of the school he went to in Dakota State. But, like, I actually liked Dak coming out of Mississippi State. I didn't think he was going to be, I thought he would be a project, but I actually thought that Dak would be at least decent coming out. So I seen a lot of guys coming forward over the years, and I had interest in them. I don't have no interest in these guys. I didn't watch these guys. So now I got to do all that again. And that's even to see what we picked, because it's just something about the Dolphins. I cannot trade Deshaun Watson for my own third round pick. I mean, for my own third pick overall. There's something about that. That's your pick, and I'm trading. Now, if I'm trading Tunsil to get my pick back, that's different. But the trade Deshaun Watson for a pick that should have been mine already, I can't fathom that. But that's something that the Texans might do. For all we know, it'll be a week from now. We find out the Texans drafted Deshaun Watson for a second and a third round pick. That's exactly what can happen. That's exactly what happened. Not even get a quarterback in return. Oh, Deshaun Watson was traded to the New Orleans Saints for their second and third round pick. That type of situation. I can see something like that. Oh, the Texans traded Deshaun Watson to the Chicago Bears for a fourth round overall pick. Oh, the Texans traded Deshaun Watson to the Jacksonville Jaguars for the second pick for the first pick in the second round. So they had Deshaun Watson and they had the first pick overall type stuff. And they in your division. I can see something like that happening for the Houston Texans because that's how incompetent this thing has showed you. And like I say, I think that even though I did not want Nick Caserio, I do think that he has some type of qualifications. But it don't even matter because he's not running the show. He's not the general manager. I'm telling y'all, he's not the general manager. Cal's not the owner. Jack Easterby's running the whole show. Jack Easterby's running this whole thing. He up there smiling because he's getting exactly what he wants. We're gonna have good guys. We're gonna have good character guys, and we're gonna beat you on the field, and we're gonna beat you off the field by being great, good Samaritans. All that's cool, but that don't win you football games. And when that's not winning you football games, that's not collecting revenue. That's not collecting revenue. What am I supposed to do with this now? Like, what am I supposed to do with this now? Y'all know how long it took me to buy. You know how long it took me to buy jerseys? I don't buy jerseys. I don't. I don't spend money like that. I don't buy jerseys like that. I bought Drake because my favorite football player, period. That's another reason why I can't leave Texas. My favorite football player, period, is the Houston Texans. I ordered before we even stepped on the field because we drafted a quarterback in the first round. I gotta get his jersey. I bought this jersey. I bought a Hopkins jersey, and they get traded. I have a horrible luck with my fandom. No, I'm a Magic fan. Shaq won out of Orlando. Then Tracy, who's from the area, won out of Orlando. Dwight won out of Orlando. Now my franchise quarterback wants out of Houston. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. Yeah.